Hello again, and welcome to Introducing the letter Y. We will be using cursive, but we will also be talking about the two different styles that you see when you are writing a lowercase letter. And you can see one of them here. That isn't the way a lot of handwriting books in school encourage you to do it, but you see it a lot, probably because it is a font style that is used when we are using our iPads or looking at typed documents. We start in a way that you are used to. Put your pencil on an imaginary line or a real one if you're using lined paper, up, down over the top, curl under and up again. It looks a bit like a letter U, and in fact the beginning of a cursive letter Y is just like the letter U. Let's try that again. Down over the top, curl under and straight line up. But when we go down, that's when we begin to get a difference. Lead in, up, down over the top and then add a curl under. Up again. Down over the top and keep going. Add a curl under and follow that line through. Lead in, up, down, curl under, up again until they're the same size, down over the top. Keep going. Curl under the other way and slope up. Lead in, up, down, curl under, up to being the same size, down over the top, curl under and slope up. Now let's try a printed letter Y. You leave out the lead-in stroke, down, curl under, up, down over the top, and the curl under mirrors this shape. Let's try that again. Start at the top of the letter, straight line down, curl under, up, down over the top and go below it to add a curl under going the other way. The other style we can use when we're printing is a handy one to know. Slope down the other way. Slope down in the other direction. And it's a handy one to know because a capital Y is exactly the same, but it is bigger. Slope down and slope down the other direction, but keep going. If I was to write a cursive letter Y next to it, you can see the difference. You can also see that this capital letter Y sits on the writing line. But let's have a think about how we know when to use it. This is where we also need to think about the fact that sometimes the letter Y is used for vowel sounds. But in this lesson, we are going to be thinking about the consonant sound we use it for, and that is Y. Like at the beginning of the word you. Now let's use handwriting paper for our letters. Lead in up to the top blue line, come down, curl under, up again, then go down to the red line before you curl under the other direction and slope up. Let's try that one again. Down, curl under the other way and slope up. Lead in, up, down, curl under, up, keep going down to the red line, curl under and slope up. Let's try joining them together. Same, up, down, curl under, up, down, curl under, but when you slope up through, you join it to the next letter Y. And if we're printing, we are going to try both of the styles for writing a lowercase letter Y, and you can choose. Down, curl under, up, down and curl under at the bottom. But as I've already pointed out, you will sometimes see slope down the other direction. And that is becoming more and more common for a printed letter Y. You use the one that suits you. But that looks a lot like a capital. But you start from the top red line and finish on the writing line. We're now going to join the letter Y written in cursive to the letter A. Y into A. And we'll practice those a few times, slope up and over. Very similar to when you write an A on its own, because it is coming up from the writing line. If we are joining it to the letter E, then it is very similar again. Slope up and then add that curl over for the letter E before we come down to the writing line again. I, there's our Y into I, and again it is very similar to writing an I all on its own because it comes from that writing line. And the O, again, you will be used to writing this letter. Curl over, down, curl under. But remember to add the exit stroke at the top for the letter O. And we have one more letter left, the letter U, and it will feel just like writing the beginning of a letter Y, but you stop in a different place. There we go, and an exit stroke on the writing line rather than below it when you have finished. This time we will go from A into Y, E into the letter Y, I into Y, and we dot the I when we've finished both letters. O into Y, and going from the top, we miss out the lead-in stroke, and then U into Y, which, when you're writing it, does feel like you are writing 2 letter U's, but the tail goes much, much lower down and we have a loop. Now you might like to spend some time practicing those. Do take your time. Once you've got the hang of it, you can speed up then. And here we have the finger spelling action for the letter Y, and it looks just like it. And if you'd like to use left-handed finger spelling, you can see again, it looks just like it. Thank you for joining me.